Hey everybody, Mature Simmer here. So welcome back to the TBM VFR Around the World series. Tucked away here, this can be a little more tricky to get out of. I almost need to be pushed out, but again, we don't have conflicts, so we could go through there. That'll work, but yeah, I was just trying to get set up here at a GA ramp and get ready to go. So we've got an interesting flight for us this week, in that the airport we're heading toward doesn't appear to be in existence in Navigraph, and so that worries me for other things. I had to basically manually find it. All right, so we'll get this turned on. We get the radios on. That's the things that take the most time. Fuel selector, auto, and then again, we'll get bleed to auto, air conditioning to on, that to on. All right, and again, just a quick check. Engine is good. Get pitot on. And then we'll start 2500. And about 800 is what we normally climb. So we're good there. Get that on. And all of that processing. And hopefully we'll be good. So we're gonna get everything up there. Go back up top. Turn on the starter. Get ignition to auto. Get our lights on. And again, at about 13, we'll get ourselves to low idle. Hopefully we stop before we get too far. We do. That's good. Now it'll fall back down. And now we'll get ourselves to high. And turn the starter off. And all we have is parking brake, which is what we want. So let's look at the route. So we're here over at Cape Town, where we landed last time. And you can see we've got a few waypoints, actual waypoints this time. So this is the first in a long number of legs that we've really got some things to look at. Not everything, some are just cities and so forth. And then I basically had to try to find and manually pick where I think we're headed. I can find it on Google Maps. So normally I'm not showing the Google Maps, but Metekane Airstrip is where we want to go. You can see pretty mountainous terrain. And as we zoom in, there it is. It's a 2,000-foot runway. And it's a little hard to tell, but you still get a good feel on it on Google Maps. And it ends at a 500-foot. So I feel a bit comfortable in that I found it on Google Maps. So like I know that is kind of where it is. I'm going to import here. So let's see if with this it can find it. All right, it seems to maybe know where it is. I guess that's a good thing. So if the plane knows, like, that'll be great. It is 267 nautical miles, so the good news is I probably did pick the right thing, but my concern was that I was going to have to basically fly via a Navigraph line, and that would make life a bit more interesting. But at this point, we're ready to get going, so let me call in for our VFR clearance. Cape Town clearance, November 191 Mike Alpha, looking for VFR to Mitanke, Lesotho at 2,500 feet.
November 191 Mike Alpha, Cape Town clearance, cleared VFR to Mitanke, Lesotho, maintain 2,500, departure 119.700, squawk 4164, runway 19 left hand, QNH 1023.
Cleared VFR, maintain 2,500, runway 19, November 191 Mike Alpha. Okay, so not necessarily where I wanted to be, but it'll be okay. Because yeah, it just means I've got a long taxi. So, flight director, nav, should be good. We've got GPS. We've got, as you can see, about 20 miles.
Safir 313, push approved, expect taxi shortly.
Roger.
Cape Town ground, November 191 Mike Alpha, ready for taxi. So I'm expecting Bravo 1, Alpha 1, the 19er, but let's see what they give us.
November 191 Mike Alpha, Cape Town ground, runway 19er, taxi via Alpha 1, hold short of runway 16. Advise you have information Sierra.
Runway 19er, taxi via Alpha 1, hold short runway 16. We have information Alpha, November 191 Mike Alpha. And we have Sierra, not Alpha. I said it wrong. Oh no, maybe I did say Sierra. Okay. It appears that's what it's given me. So anyway, we are now going to be ready to go. So let's do it. Parking brake off. We'll see if we can turn around. If I keep it slow, I might be able to just rotate in place.
Link 922 Mike, contact tower on 118.1.
Because if I can exit out of the little...
Tower, link 922 Mike.
No, it's not letting me do it. I'm hitting the building. Oh, this is not good. Come on. Oh, they won't let me. Interesting. Okay. I didn't think those were going to be issues. So let's see, can I do any kind of pushback?
Safir 313 ready to taxi.
Safir 313, runway 19er, taxi via Alpha 1, hold short of runway 16.
Let's see, can I,
Runway 19 taxi via Alpha 1, hold short of runway 16, Safir 313.
How do I rotate? I've never used this, so... There we go. Click the nose and drag, click the body, click a parking, click elsewhere to move to the target. Okay, so we're going to select. Cool. That makes it easier. Other than... This is Alpha 1. Or is it? Now I'm confused. Let me just check. Oh no, okay. So... it's going to become Alpha 1. Alright. So...
301, taxi to parking via Charlie Bravo 1.
We actually want to turn and get out of there, because, yeah, that is a little roadway, so that's not going to help. Okay, why are we not moving? Now what's holding us up? Come on. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, let me try again. So, a little bit of challenge just with where we started. Let's put ourselves there. Okay, now let's see if we can go. Is it really not? Like, what does it think we're stuck on? This is going to make life interesting and difficult. Alright, will it let me go now? Alright, thank goodness. Alright, so now we're at Bravo 1. I just basically warped myself to a parking space. Alright, so little hiccup, but we're on our way, which is good. Got too much throttle. That's not good. But yeah, the food trucks are over there, but this is our taxiway here. So now we're on Alpha 1, Bravo 1, whatever it is, but...
Ground link 622 November, taxi to parking.
It's supposed to be pretty straight, so this taxi wiggle is not something we'd expect, but we'll kind of follow it. So we're going by the Alpha gates and the Bravo gates. There's Charlie gates somewhere, but not sure exactly where. But runway 16 is coming up shortly. So you can see the numbers of the gates on the taxiway a little bit. Probably easier to see there. They're B25, B26. So, but yeah, not... I mean, this is supposed to be a arrow straight taxiway. So, not the greatest airport, but a lot of times they're not. But this, being one of the bigger ones, we unfortunately have to kind of officially be cleared and all that for everything to work from the SayIntentions standpoint and all that. But here comes runway 16. So I assume... Usually it kind of triggers a little bit, but maybe not. Cape Town ground, November 191 Mike Alpha, holding short runway 16. So we'll see what it gives us there. Come on. Everything should be working. I'm not muted. Cape Town ground, November 191 Mike Alpha, holding short runway 16. It's registering it. Cape Town ground, November 191 Mike Alpha, requesting further taxi. Let's see if we can make this work.
November 1 Mike Alpha, runway 19er, taxi via Alpha 1, hold short of runway 16.
Cape Town ground, I am holding short of runway 16. Would like to cross runway 16. So this is where...
November 1 Mike Alpha, cross runway 16, then continue taxi via Alpha 2.
Cross runway 16, continue taxi via Alpha 12, November 191 Mike Alpha. Alright. So that is the benefit of something like SayIntentions, where sometimes, like, if you gotta speak a little differently, like, get them to understand what's happening, that with the AI it can discern what your intentions are and go from there.
16.
So, there we go. So it's just probably because of the airport layout. It just doesn't know we're there, and so like it doesn't work properly. And I think we can do things with Taxi Tuner. I've never tried that.
Approaching runway 16.
So
November 1 Mike Alpha, contact
see,
tower
like,
on 118.1.
now
Take
it
care.
knows I'm here. So switching over to tower November 191 Mike Alpha.
Approaching runway 1.
Right. Cape Town Tower, November 191 Mike Alpha, runway 19er, ready for takeoff.
November 1901 Mike Alpha, Cape Town Tower. No delay. A350 on a 6-mile final runway 19er. Winds 200 at 18. Cleared for takeoff.
Runway 19er, cleared for takeoff, November 191 Mike Alpha. Right, so basically they're telling us there's an A350 coming in. It's a 6-mile final, which is a few minutes away. But basically, unless we want to get squashed like a gnat, we want to get out of here. So we probably want to put our flaps down. And that would help. Should be good now. I didn't look, but it's been enough time. But yeah, I suddenly realized I didn't have them down.
200 feet.
So I'm like, that is a bad thing. All right, and again, we have plenty of distance here. So, speed alive, almost at 80. We should be able to pick up here. There we go. Positive rate, gear up.
Link 329 Echo. Winds 200 at 18. Runway 19er. Cleared to land.
So we'll get our yaw damper up. We will
Cleared to land
move
19er.
this
Link
up.
329 Echo.
And we will arm this. And we should be good. So we'll head on over some buildings. It's not part of the airport. Oops. So there we go. That's where we were, kind of fumbling around. And now we're good. So, alright, my Navigraph was having a little bit of fun, but we'll zoom out because we don't need to go very far. Alright, so let's talk about what there is to talk about. 661 nautical miles will be this journey. Definitely not super short. So, 20 miles out. Alright, we want to contact... Switching to departure, November 191 Mike Alpha. Alright, yeah. Just making sure it's what I thought. Alright, so we're having a little bit of fun here. I'm going to go ahead, flip that down, move that up, just make sure we're not in trouble there. And then we're going to switch to terrain. Move this out. Usually we go a little further than that, so we'll do that. Right, we're at 1500. We're heading to that point. 20 nautical miles, so we're going from South Africa to Lesotho. And so what we have is take off from Cape Town and head southwest over the Cape Peninsula, from which Cape Town gets its name. At the end is the Cape of Good Hope, which figures prominently in the Tales of the Flying Dutchman. So we're going to go do that. Meantime, let's see if we can get Sarah to load this up. Sarah, can you please load VFR TBM 850 around the world, leg 47?
Absolutely. Loading VFR TBM around the world, leg 47. Our first stop is the Cape of Good Hope, about 24 kilometers away. Get ready for some spectacular coastal views.
All right. So we're probably going to overfly that, but it looks like we're okay. We will have to climb later quite a bit as we start heading to Lesotho. But we're going to go ahead here, get this moving along. And, you know, we've got a couple relatively close waypoints, then things spread out a little bit. But yeah, we are going to be at the southern tip of Africa on this route, as you probably saw when we put it up. We have 5 waypoints, again, because it's not direct. Now, the other problem I have, I know you're noticing, hey, the bar on top for progress isn't there. Couldn't put an airport into Fly Studios, so yeah, there is no bar. So I do apologize for that. You're just going to have to deal with me or, you know, all that other fun stuff that goes on. So, 7 miles. But yeah, my knowledge of the Cape of Good Hope is this is a pretty stormy area. This is where ships had to go, like, that were trying to get around the world, had to go around this thing. Just like, I forget the cape at the tip of South America. I'm sure we'll get down there too. But yeah, I think we're okay. I hope we're okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're in any danger, I wouldn't think. Yeah, we're high enough. So we'll give ourselves a bit of a normal view so that if we need to pop out, we're ready to go. But I'm sure it's, you know, really trying to get over there close to where
At our
we'd
3
be.
o'clock, just 4 kilometers away, is the legendary Cape of Good Hope. This dramatic rocky headland has been making sailors nervous since the 15th century, when Portuguese explorer Bartolomeu Dias first rounded it in 1488. Back then, they called it the Cape of Storms, which sounds like a place where you definitely want to keep your tray table locked. The Cape is famous for its wild seas, shipwrecks, and the meeting point of the Atlantic and Indian Oceans. Though, fun fact, the actual meeting point is a bit further east at Cape Agulhas. Geography loves a plot twist. The cliffs here are home to some seriously photogenic baboons, and if you look closely, you might spot a ship or two braving the same waters that terrified sailors centuries ago. Our next stop is False Bay, just 38 kilometers away.
Whoops, so, sorry, was talking. So, turn back east across False Bay. I use that name because that's what we're crossing now. But we'll hear about it as we get to the other side. It's a few minutes away. Wow, crazy sun. But it's a few minutes away. So, I will catch you in a bit.
Departure Safir 605 2000 for 4000.
Safir 605, Cape Town Centre, radar contact. Climb and maintain 11-1000.
Climb 11-1000, Safir 605.
Safir 605 contact, Cape Town Centre on 125.1.
125.1 for Safir 605.
Alright, so we're getting here. It's going to give us the information about False Bay, and then we'll move on to our next point. But yeah, I had to climb a little bit, because we're definitely a little higher
At our
here.
7 o'clock, just 5 kilometers away, is False Bay. This massive, sweeping bay is a favorite for both sharks and surfers, though hopefully not at the same time. The name False Bay comes from early sailors who mistook it for Table Bay, leading to some very confused navigators and probably a few awkward logbook entries. The bay is famous for its crystal clear waters, dramatic mountain backdrops, and believe it or not, one of the only places in the world where you can see great white sharks breach out of the water, like they're auditioning for a wildlife action movie. During World War II, the bay was even used as a base for anti-submarine operations. So whether you're into marine life, military history, or just love a good beach, False Bay has something for everyone. Our next stop is Cape Agulhas, 101 kilometers away on heading 145.
Maintain VFR at or below 14-4000.
Alright, so we're going to change our radio there. Sorry, a little bit of a hiccup, don't know why. But then the continuation of the sentence, then follow the coast toward the southern tip of Africa at Cape Agulhas. So that is where we're going. A little under 60 nautical miles now, about 10-15 minutes. See you in a bit. Alright, so we are coming up on Cape Agulhas, the southernmost tip of Africa. So she'll let us know in a little bit, but there it is, folks. The only thing more south of this, I guess, would be Antarctica. Well, I guess Australia's down there somewhere, if I'm getting my geography in my head correct. I think it is still east of Africa and down, so southeast. So there is something there, but anyway, I'm just babbling, trying to say something impressive, and it's not going to happen, so we'll just wait
At
for
our 6
her.
o'clock, just 5 kilometers away, is Cape Agulhas, the southernmost tip of Africa. This is where the Atlantic and Indian Oceans officially meet, though the two seas don't exactly shake hands politely. The waters here are notorious for their wild, churning currents. The name Agulhas comes from the Portuguese word for needles, thanks to all the sharp rocks that have claimed more than a few ships over the centuries. The iconic red and white Cape Agulhas lighthouse, built in 1848, still stands guard over the coast and is the second oldest working lighthouse in South Africa. For centuries, sailors would breathe a sigh of relief, or maybe just clutch their maps tighter when they finally rounded this point. Our next stop is George, 215 kilometers away.
Alright, so we have a pretty long leg. The next, well, the remaining 2 waypoints, there's only 5, and then we have a really long leg to go and land. But the next 2 waypoints are just cities that are present. But basically, we're also able... I don't know that we're really going to follow the coast, because a lot of the flight is going to be over the water here, so a lot of what you're going to see... I mean, you should probably still be able to see land most of the time, but it may go away. But a little bit of a flight, but we'll, you know, go ahead and do the 132 nautical miles, and we'll see you when we get close to George.
At our 7 o'clock, about 5 kilometers away, is the town of George. Nestled at the foot of the Utaniqua Mountains, George is one of South Africa's oldest towns, officially founded in 1811 and named after King George III. It's famous for its lush scenery, and as the gateway to the Garden Route, a stretch of coastline that makes road trippers swoon. Aviation fans might appreciate that George Airport, which opened in 1977, was the first in South Africa to have an automated landing system, making it a bit of a tech pioneer. The town is also known for its timber industry, and the nearby Utaniqua Chucho steam train used to chug through these hills, making everyone feel like they were in a classic adventure movie. Our next stop is Port Elizabeth, 257 kilometers away on heading 120.
All right, so sorry I didn't join ahead of time, but yeah, so the only comment I can give, and again, you know, I'm the mature simmer, so if you're not the same age or around the same age, and if you're not from the United States, this won't make any sense. But when I heard the name of the town, all I could think of is the old Bugs Bunny episode where he gets basically a guy wants to make him a pet, and he is an old guy. I don't know. He's an old guy. I was a little kid. Everybody's an old guy, right? But he's just so excited to get him, and he's like, "I will love him and hug him, and I will name him George." So when I heard George, that's what I thought of. You may not have thought of it. Hopefully I did a good enough impression that if you do know what I'm talking about, it was right. But anyway, got about over a little bit of a half an hour or so, 150 miles to our final waypoint, which, as you heard, is the Port of Elizabeth. So it says, turn northeast, follow the coast past the small town of George, then on to the east and the city of Port Elizabeth, home to the South African Air Force Museum. And then after that, we'll have our last section, which is like half of what there is written here, is between that and our final destination airport. So I'll be back in a little over half an hour, and we will connect up then. Alright, so we are coming up on Port Elizabeth. Looks like a pretty big settlement here. I mean, I guess it's still South Africa, so I don't know that I'd really call it a settlement. They're probably a little more than that. But then we have our last leg, but yeah, this is our last waypoint, so she will say we're wrapped up and whatever when she's done.
At our 6 o'clock, about 3 miles away, is Port Elizabeth, now officially called Geberha, but don't worry, you won't be quizzed on the pronunciation. Founded in 1820 as a British settlement, this coastal city has long been a key port for ships rounding the southern tip of Africa. The city is famous for its beautiful beaches, like King's Beach and Hobie Beach, which are often dotted with windsurfers and dolphins showing off their acrobatics. Aviation fans might appreciate that Port Elizabeth International Airport opened in 1929, making it one of the oldest airports in South Africa still in operation. The city is also known for its Art Deco architecture and the Donkin Reserve, where a quirky lighthouse and pyramid stand as reminders of its colonial past. And just like that, we've reached the end of our journey. From the wild cliffs of the Cape of Good Hope to the southernmost tip at Cape Agulhas, and now to the bustling shores of Port Elizabeth, we've covered some of the most dramatic and historic coastlines in Africa. Thanks for joining me on this adventure. It's been a real treat to share the skies with you. Tour complete.
Alright, so I'm guessing she'll still now randomly comment for the 260 plus nautical miles that we've got to go. So we'll see how that all plays out. But, let's jump back to the narrative and finish that off. So basically it says turn inland now. Let's get the plane going, or the sound going, and head for the small kingdom of Lesotho, the only, to my knowledge, landlocked country in the world other than Vatican City that is only bordered by one other country, i.e. is surrounded. Because yeah, when I started to read this initially, I'm like, Switzerland is landlocked, and then I understood that it's only bordered by one country. Like, yeah, that's the key. So the terrain will rise sharply as we leave the coastal area. Our destination is the tiny mountaintop airstrip at Matakane. Matakane? I'm going to go with that. It's a star airfield in Flight Sim, and will be one of the most challenging you'll face on this journey. Its 1,918-foot runway runs right to the edge of a 500-foot cliff. It is known as one of the scariest airstrips in the world, but if I could land it there, you shouldn't have any problem at all. So that was the thing. That's how I knew about the 500-foot cliff and all that. I'm going to go ahead and get myself up to 9,500 feet here, however long that takes, because there are areas that we need to, that in theory are like at 12 or 13,000. I think the airport itself, as it shows, and only because I saw it here in the flight plan, if we go back, I believe it shows up as 7. Oh, interesting. So that's not necessarily the height, but if it's 7,656 feet, it may be the height. Because if I go, whoops, to Cape Town, what is that, 446? Yeah, that was about right. So I'm guessing 10,000, so maybe we'll just to be good, we'll go up there, and because I'm likely going to need to step away during this leg for a bit and not really be paying attention, so I don't want to have a problem. But yeah, so the nerves on that landing are going to be something. So we'll see how it all goes. And it's going to be a bit of time, so enjoy the view, and I will see you in a bit.
Darlington Dam Lodge traffic. Zulu Sierra Delta Juliet. Foxtrot taxiing to runway 23. Darlington Dam Lodge.
All right, so things are coming up. We're about 16 miles out. We're gonna start slowing down. We're also gonna start adjusting here. We're gonna go this way. We're also gonna bring this in so we can see a little cleaner. And we're gonna get our landing rate up, so 1500. So, and that will change, I'm sure, pretty quickly. Because then I'm sure it'll become like 3,000 or more. So we've just, like, we know this isn't fully in a valley. But somewhere there, it's going to slow down. But we're going to get ourselves closer. So I'm going to stay, you know, at full power for a bit here. Because we're still 12 miles. We're not headed toward the airport anymore. So we're going to get this zoomed in a lot more on my Navigraph so I can see where we're at. Yeah, see, but we're now, you know, it's 3,300 below us. But yes, the spot I picked, I'm pretty sure, is where the airport is. So I did find it visually, which is crazy. Because I was looking at, Alright, let's see, because I feel like still... Alright, I'm going to drop the wheels. That'll slow us down some. So you can see the speed sloughing off. Obviously, we're going to also cut the engine some. So that will drop the speed pretty quickly. But I think it's basically over here. Alright, so now... So we may have to do this approach multiple times. I don't know. We're gonna see how this all plays out. I'm gonna drop my flaps, but I think that may be it right there. So we're gonna un-autopilot, but yes, I think that is the airstrip. It's just a matter of how much, like, what we can do. Because, yeah, we got to come in the valley. Like, this is insanity is what it is. So I'm going to speed this up a bit, but man, I don't feel I can see this very well. Because I'm worried. I don't think we can line up on that runway. Holy moly. Where is this thing? Oh, did we miss it? I think I missed it. I think it's way back here somewhere. So I need to find the airstrip. See, I thought the strip was there. But that is not it. It is back here somewhere. So I am now going to have to fly. I'm going to go around this side of this hill. Like, yeah, I think I went way, way too far. I think it's in this valley here. Maybe. I mean, let's see. I kind of need to go there. Wow. It is just really hard to tell. So yeah, now I think we're coming across. Again, I'm watching my airspeed because that's going to also be a problem. Where is this thing? Is that it? In theory, oh, I think I see it. I think it's way over there. So it looks gray. So I'm gonna assume that path is what I want, but man, this is awful. Yeah, talk about scary. Yeah, so I think that's it, and that's all we got. It's a grass strip, I know that. So, and there's a windsock, so okay, and try it again. I'm like, it was not slowing down. So that's it. Whew. I'm like, yeah, that is not ending. But yeah, it's like 700 feet. We're trying to circle around here. I'm gonna have to give myself enough room again. But that was it. How am I only going? Alright, I'm gonna pull my flaps up. Because clearly we are scrubbing off airspeed. And I don't need to, I mean, I'm full throttle, and I was barely handling 60. Alright, but at least now I kind of know where it is. In theory, that should make it easier, right? Wow. Yeah, that was the go-around attempt. As soon as I'm like, I am not stopping in time. Like, this is not happening. Alright, so now we need to come around pretty sharply. Again, I don't want to go too fast. My goodness. Because I think it's around here. Wow. It is so hard to pick this thing out from up here. Yeah, I'm past it again. Like a long way past it. And again, I'm going to waste a bunch of time coming in. I'm not sinking. Because yeah, now we're going like way too fast again. Like this is too abrupt. I don't know how we tell where we're at. Yeah, I'm past it again, so let's we're We're gonna have to line up from much further out. Wow. Got a lot of fuel. We could do this for an hour if we need to. So I'm just wondering if I go... because now I'm too far out. So the question is, if I go from a long way out, try to line myself up, and then maybe try to align... Let's see. I go out a little bit further. Because right now we're what? 2.5. Because now what I need to do is basically get myself up. Because I'm going to say it's like 40 degrees. So I probably need to get myself... Because right now I'm going, what? 310? So about 40 degrees north of straight west. Maybe 300. I'm probably not at 310. It's like 305. But I'm going to say it's like 45 degrees. So that would mean I need to be coming up at... Let me move at 360. Let me get there. And then... Now I need to get myself right about 45. Yeah, now I'm too far. Like, because the thing is, am I... Alright. So now I need... We're gonna back this off, because we need a lot less. But yeah, I'm basically coming in... So I think I see it. I think it's over there. And again, I'm 2 miles out, so I need to be really, really careful here. But we're like way too... Come on, where is this thing? I think it's on the other side of this hill. So I think I basically need to come in here. Yeah, it's right there. But I'm like needing to graze the field. But yeah, that's it. So there's the windsock. If I hit the ground, I guess I hit the ground, but I think I'm further away than I think. Alright. So now I need to get way down here because we're in a valley. Alright, 40. But I am where I was supposed to be. Holy moly. Put on the brake. Put up the flaps. Go outside. Wow. So there's the windsock, like... Ooh. Man. Alright, well it only took 3 tries, right? That should... I don't know why it's not ending things. Do I have to pull this back? Yeah, I don't know if it doesn't recognize it as an airport. But this is where I'm supposed to be, so... The question is, am I going to be able to take off from here? I mean, in theory, my plane knows where this is, but I don't think... Well, no, I guess it knew where it was, but In any event, we are here. So, welcome to Lesotho and the craziest landing. Because, yeah, if you look back at this, I mean, that's the thing. We're really coming in here, so you almost have to turn in and then land it. And I think, yeah, we landed there. We were able to do something that wasn't too crazy. You know, we probably have a little more distance than one would think. As I'm trying to remember, I don't think it'll give me the, I don't know, it's not worth trying to figure out how to go look over the cliff. We went over it. We know what's over there. It's a long way down. Leg 47 done. Not much else to say. If you have not liked or subscribed, please consider that, and I will see you next time.